My name is Nick Lazechko, and I'm the School Program Director at EnergyLink. It's my hope that this video gives you some more insight on both the story and the structure of EnergyLink's public school funding program. This program was created primarily to help schools generate funds that they can use to support students who are falling behind or at risk for falling behind. As a design-build engineering firm, it's EnergyLink's hope that we can help encourage more students to enter STEM-related fields and make this possible for them. We think that generating funding for school districts is one of the best ways to do that. This program was created by myself, Chris Eiler, who is the CEO of EnergyLink, and Craig Steeser, another team member here. But the idea really came from experiences I had in graduate school while pursuing a degree in school psychology. A few years ago, I worked in a sales and consulting role at EnergyLink, but decided to leave because of a passion I had for supporting students. When I was in grad school getting my degree in school psychology, I loved the experience, but I kept having one thing frustrate me over and over and over again. Every time I was taught about a great intervention, whether that was a multi-tiered system of support like RTI or PBIS, whether that was some sort of classroom management strategy or a specific intervention for students who've qualified for special education, it was always followed by an asterisk. It was always followed by, we should do this, but you're gonna have to do it with limited support, limited resources, and limited time. All which stem from schools having limited funding so they can't do those things. Not only did this frustrate me, but it surprised me. Because when I was working in the corporate world, I saw time and time again how amazing strategies or interventions that aren't supported by funding consistently fail to achieve the impact they were designed to reach. So when I started thinking about how can we solve this problem, how can we get more funding into schools so the wonderful employees in schools can actually benefit students more, I thought back to EnergyLink and all the things they were doing financially for for-profit and nonprofit companies. I decided to give Chris a call and ask him if we could brainstorm some different ways that we could get more funds back into public schools by using innovative structured financing mechanisms and energy efficiency projects that can really help school buildings. After a long conversation, we figured out a way that we could get public schools all of the financial benefit from energy efficiency projects without any of the financial risk. Now, I know this might sound a little too good to be true or cheesy. No financial risk is something that's thrown around sometimes. But to understand how this is possible, you just need a general or base level understanding of the energy industry right now. Currently, the federal government offers very, very large tax credits to organizations who are willing to invest in renewable energy and energy efficiency upgrades. But public schools and nonprofit entities who are tax exempt aren't able to capitalize on these benefits. However, there are a plethora of investors with a tax appetite who are willing to invest in these projects in order to experience the return on those tax credits and give back some of the energy savings or actual savings profits from the energy efficiency projects to the buildings that they put these projects on. In fact, if a tax equity investor or an investor with a tax appetite comes in to fund a renewable energy project on a public school system and they get a return on their investment through the tax credit and from some of the savings that come from that project, it's still possible for that school district to reap $500,000 to $2 million in lifetime energy savings and returns from that project without accepting any of the risk. An arrangement such as this is usually called a Managed Energy Service Agreement, or a MESA for short is how it's used in the industry, but there's typically a catch with Managed Energy Service Agreements. At the end of 6 years, after the investor is able to take the tax credits, they often sell the project for a decreased value back to the public school. At that point, the public school needs to take out some sort of financing or loan to pay for the project. And usually at this point, at 6 years, the school takes on risk in that regard. But after some more brainstorming, we came up with a way to even remove this risk. By proactively creating a contract called an Energy Service Performance Contract, or an ESPC, at the beginning of the creation of the Managed Energy Service Agreement, EnergyLink can guarantee that after the school buys the project back from the investor, the energy savings they experience on an annual basis will be far greater than the debt payment they need to make on the loan that they took out to purchase that project. And if those savings aren't greater than the debt payment the school has, EnergyLink will contractually agree to pay you that difference out of pocket so your school district never loses funds that it can use to support students. Now, all of this, the structured financing, the renewable energy, the tax credits, the energy efficiency, it might all sound complicated. And in a sense it is, but it's something that for-profit companies and investors have been doing for quite a while. It's just something that we want to bring to public schools, something that we want to bring and simplify to organizations that are actually trying to help kids. And it's our goal that by doing this, we'll help you fund the support of students, and that eventually those students will also enter fields where they can help support their community and their environment. If you have any questions or are interested at all in this program, my phone number and email will be displayed on the screen. Please give me a phone call or reach out via email, and I'd be more than happy to talk to you to see if there's anything that we can do to help bring more funds into your district. Thanks for watching.